Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, today's coaching session, I just want to discuss the prospects of Coinbase and thus YieldMax's CONY fund skyrocketing upon the Bitcoin halving. So there's a cool website out there that's actually tracking down to the second the Bitcoin halving event, which is actually coming tomorrow. So uh, we've got 1 day, 8 hours, 52 minutes, and 35 seconds at the moment. And it's almost like the kind of like the debt clock. We've got all this information here. Not quite as much information as the debt clock, but of course it's 420, which is an amusing date for it to happen on. Wonder how high tide will do that day. But anyway, so our crypto funds have kind of been fluctuating a lot here. So we will have to see what will happen, but it could very well be a major catalyst for Coinbase, for CONY, and even for Litecoin and Grayscale Bitcoin itself. They've been dropping a lot, but we will see. We'll look, of course, at what is happening today with it, and we'll go ahead and do that comparison now. So I've got the Qs up here. Looks like the Qs are slightly back up. So let's pull up. First, we'll look at CONY itself. So CONY's up today, almost 6%. So that's a good sign. It's probably going to continue based on the halving. We had a little bit of a crash in the last week or two, but we seem to be on the rebound. So then if I go to charting, I'm going to add, we'll look at probably 6 different funds in this one. So Coinbase should also be up. No thanks. Coinbase should also be up. So we've got, see, in a year, 219% year to date. So wow, look at that. Coinbase is up, CONY is down. But up until, where were we? Was CONY down that? Oh, that's because of December, because we had such a rough December. I'd have to look at like a 6-month comparison. We're still up 23% in CONY. Coinbase is up over that 6-month time frame. Wow, so the most of its gain came within the last 6 months. How about that? Okay, let me type in Litecoin. We'll look at this one and Grayscale Bitcoin. Whoops. There we go. I've got that one. And then we'll look at Beto while we're at it. The pro shares. Okay, so 618% over 6 months in Litecoin, and Grayscale Bitcoin 150%. So while fortunes have been made in Litecoin, how are we doing year to date? 112%. If we look just in a day, CONY was up almost 6% versus the S&P 0.13. CONY actually outperformed Coinbase. So there's an example of the underlying underperforming its YieldMax fund. That's interesting. 8% for Litecoin, 1.7 for Grayscale Bitcoin, and Beto just 10 basis points below it. Let me check comments here. Oh, no comments. Wow. So yeah, I mean, very likely the halving could skyrocket CONY, and we could end up with a huge dividend in CONY next month. So okay, let's go back over here. And let's see. Here we go. Okay, so for 5 days, the only ones, actually, they're all down in 5 days. In a month, Litecoin is still up 37%. It's the only one that's actually up. Year to date, Litecoin is the highest. Now let me go to total return. So for total return, there was kind of like a M chart here, which sometimes they say on technical analysis, M equals murder. So we've got like a nice M chart forming here. Let's see, let's look at 1 month. Okay, so Litecoin is by far outpacing all the others. Let me get rid of S&P because there's really no correlation. So Litecoin's way up here and the others are all over here. So for 5 days, I mean, we see, with the exception of Grayscale Bitcoin, the rest of them were down more. Litecoin, Coinbase, and CONY. So, we had the pullback. Now we seem to be on a run up just within the last day or so. So we could very well, within the next, like by the end of the week, we could see a huge close as of Friday for all of these funds. So, now could be this is what a once every 4 year opportunity. So let's go back over here. Oh, Door Gunner says crypto could trade sideways until fall, end of year, and into 2025 should be fun. Why until the fall? I was thinking the big thing was the Bitcoin halving. You'll have to explain why the fall. Okay, now let's go to the halving countdown. I like this one a lot. So we've got even block height, current block height, block time. So we've got all these metrics here. We've got the exchange rate, the market cap for Bitcoin, 1.25 trillion. That's incredible. If we had all of them, they might make a slight dent in the national debt, but not much of a dent. Um, Difficulty, and then they explain the halving event every 4 years or 210,000 blocks on Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin's initial block reward was 50 BTC. The current block reward is 6.25. The next block reward will be 3 until, yeah, that's halving. That's 3.125 is obviously half of 6.25. Conventional fiat currencies are subject to inflation. Don't we know? Due to the ability of governments or banks to increase the money supply. Unlike these currencies, Bitcoin has a capped total supply. That's why this book exists. This is a very good read over here, which I would highly recommend. Let me see if I have it over here. It talks about that very thing, the Bitcoin standard, and I guess it wandered off because I don't have it over here. But yeah, that's exactly what the Bitcoin standard talks about. That's why I highly recommend reading it. Let's see. Bitcoin will not see a huge run this time because of the halving. Well, we were seeing a run up just before, and then we had a pullback. Now we're up like 5% in some of these today. Um, I don't profess to fully understand it, so I would need you all to maybe coach me on why that's the case, because I would think it would be a major catalyst if you're going to have like a fixed amount, then the value should increase if there's going to be if it's going to have like that's my basic understanding of it. If there's going to be like fewer, then the value should increase would be my line of thinking. But anyway, maybe you all can correct my line of thinking on that. Anyway, so that's really just a quick one I wanted to get out today. The idea that maybe we could hopefully see CONY skyrocket. We're not seeing it with Tesla, so maybe CONY could do it. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you all on the next one. Take care. Bye.